sounds like such a nice spell, doesn't it? It's like something a first-level Mary Poppins would cast in the Julie Andrews role-playing game. A wizard waves his hand, and the goblins stretch and yawn, put down their swords, fluff up their shields, take a little nap. And you know what we do with napping goblins, don't you? We slit their warty throats. So really, the spell should be called Create Slaughterhouse. A. Tensor's Floating Disc. Now this is a really neat idea for a spell. It creates a magical platform that a wizard can use to carry his stuff, kind of like the equivalent of those wheelie carts that old ladies have. The problem is that this is a spell that you'll never, ever memorize if you want to live. In D&D, wizards only get a certain number of spells per day, and if you're facing down an Umber Hulk or an Ochre Jelly or an Oprah Winfrey, and the only spell you have left is the I was too cheap to hire a henchman spell, well, you're going to be getting out a new character sheet. And on that character sheet, under Spells Memorized, the first thing you should write is not Tensor's Floating Disc. D+. Magic Missile. Now, missile is actually a really old word that originally had nothing to do with laser guiding or fallout shelters, but at the same time, I don't think there's a single D&D player who, upon hearing the name of this spell for the first time, didn't think of Merlin pulling an ICBM out of his hat. Presumably an ICBM with stars and crescent moons on it. But no, a magic missile is just a magical arrow. A magical arrow that does about the same amount of damage as a regular arrow, except with regular arrows, you get more than one a day. So I think the magical incantation for this spell is, I should have rolled up a ranger. B-. Charm Person. It's good that Charm Person is a first level spell because it introduces the new player to a very important part of the D&D experience, heated arguments over the rules. For instance, one version of the Charm Person rules reads, the victim will believe that the magic user is its best friend and will try to defend the magic user against any threat. So many things to argue about. Exactly how do orcs treat their best friends? What does it mean to try to defend the magic user? Does throwing a rock and running away count? And how come every time we're collecting money for pizza, you're in the bathroom? B+. Ventriloquism. Now this spell gets memorized exactly twice. The first time, the DM is nice and lets you use it to trick the ogre into walking off the cliff looking for the ice cream man. The second time, he decides that he's tired of you using things like creativity and initiative instead of the darn rules that he paid $30 for, and he doesn't let it work and the ogre kicks your butt. Which, you know, is just as well because arcane master of the mystic arts and guy who does old vaudeville routines should not be synonymous. D.